Hello and welcome to Silverstone, the endurance race in the F1 cars. Now, there's a couple of ways you can run this race. You can do the clock management technique where you don't pass a car if your timer is at 80 or above and you pay attention to how much time you get at the start-finish line. Or you can run it as an endless race where you go flat out from the start, passing everyone you can and taking lots of cuts. Now, if you know how to do an endless endurance here, you know I just skipped a cut. That's extremely important on the first lap, and we'll get into that later. But right here is a big cut, and that time I did a lot of skidding, didn't want to. Sometimes you can make it so you actually don't skid and you can stay on the gas, and that's preferable. You can take this section here full throttle normally, but I can't because that bot was perfectly in my way. Same with the Chapel Beckett's Maggots section that I'm going through right now. Normally I could take that faster, but those bots were perfectly in my way. It's a pretty typical first lap in most endurance races. The bots are crazy slow and they're in your way. This next corner here is a fun little corner. Again, I'm having to take it badly. Now this one, there's two different ways you can cut it. I'm going to brake early, cut across the grass here, and then if there's no one in my way, I get a really nice speed run down here. There is another way to take that, and which is to go flying off a little bit later and go across the grass, but it's riskier. Now here, I got to be careful. You see, the problem is if you pass too many bots when you're off track and your timer is overfilling, meaning it's going over 90, there's a glitch that can happen where you could lose your whole race, and I'll get more into that a little bit later. Here in a fully upgraded car, you got to be careful, and oh, nuts. I don't think I hit him. I think that the one bot was wrecking the other bot, but I guess we'll find out if my handling is shot. Huh, well that's interesting. Okay, now this section here, it's Chapel Beckett's. Now into Maggots, this is where it gets interesting and I can sometimes lose control. You've got that right-hand turn, and then you're going uphill, downhill at the same time, and sometimes the car just steps out, even fully upgraded. So you got to be careful. Same with here. I really had to get out of the gas. Sometimes drafting throws you off. So again, here I like to cut, get into the gas early, and then have a nice run. I can maybe steal some drafting here and there. Okay, we're going to skip ahead a bit. In the small screen, I'm showing you a separate race, lap 1, where I passed everyone right away. Now watch my timer. When it gets down to 85 seconds, the game's going to crash. You can't pass more than 4 cars in that instance. Okay, now here we are, and 27, almost 28 kilometers. And there you go. You see that? That is the perpetual point. You can see the bots are nicely grouped up there. The lap right before that, I had nobody to pass. So it can be really hard to get to the perpetual point at some tracks in some cars. And even still, you see my clock, 50 seconds? It's quite likely I'm not going to pass anyone else until the start of the next lap. So I can't afford any major mistakes. So here's Chapel, Beckett's, and then we're going into the Maggot section. And I got to be careful. I want to be under the gas early, catch some draft, and maybe pass this guy if I get this corner just right. But that is a hard section, and you just can't afford mistakes there. So look how low my timer's getting. Now I've got enough time, so I don't want to push this too hard. I don't want to have a wreck. So even there, I was pushing it a little bit, but you know, that's pretty decent. Okay, let's skip ahead a little bit. Get to where it's a little bit more interesting. There we go, and look, I slowed it down so you can see that. I did take some hits here. Let's go fast again. All right, we're flying through a whole bunch of this. We're gonna come out of warp speed here right away. Okay, so here we are getting near 50 kilometers, and as you know, okay, my timer was very low there. Now because my timer's so low, I'm not gonna worry about how many people I pass here. Let's just see how this goes. Now you don't wanna go too far out like that. That's where you can get clipped. So I should have been on the brakes more, but hey, look at that timer. And by the way, pay a lot of attention to your speed. It takes 5 seconds for a car to disappear. If you drive in the right spot, you can get a disappearing car to push you. It's kind of funny, getting pushed by a ghost, basically. So again, let's look at my timer, 50 seconds. That is more than enough time to finish a lap, but not if you have a major mistake. So just got to keep it clean. Take this clean and try to make sure that I power out nice. Take it a little bit easy. There we go. And again, I'm not going to catch any draft, but I have more than enough time to finish this lap. So I'm going to try to maximize this. By the way, once in a while, there we go. Once in a while, the bots just lose it on that section, all on their own. Oh, nuts. There's 3 in a row here. Okay, well, I didn't mean to clip him. I was trying to keep my momentum going. I expected him to be going faster. 60 seconds. So passing 3 bots won't be a problem. Even passing 4 if I look at this timer. Now I got to get hard on the brakes. There we go. Just nicely merge. Let him go by and then get in the line of the bots. See if I can get a bit of a push from a ghost. Okay, let's fast forward here. Here's the race location. Of course, F1. Invitational series. You got to be fully upgraded to get access to this race. And then you got to drive it like this. So here we are, 70 kilometers. And oh, nuts. That's going to be some more major damage. Okay, so I'm going to have to be more careful through maggots. That's where I could really run into trouble now, because I've had a few big hits. Ooh, I took that a bit wide. That's kind of risky. There we go. Look, see? Getting a push from a ghost. It's hilarious. Second dark green section. You take note of that. Oh, no, you never want to clip that wall. Yikes. Here, I'm going to lift even a little bit more because I have gone off track there before. I've lost my traction. If you take this corner correctly, it doesn't matter if you're damaged, but you can spin out if you don't take it just right. So those bots are close. I'm wondering if I take this right, if I could actually catch the draft. Well, look at that. Nice. Oh, nuts. See, that's what I'm talking about. You would have thought that I would have been okay there, but the handling of my car has fallen off from the amount of damage that I took. Okay, let's fast forward some more here. We're going to zip forward for a while. It's kind of funny. This is 16 times normal speed, in case you're wondering. And we're going pretty fast going through this. I did get clipped again. And I'm going to come out of warp speed right away here. Getting very close to 100 kilometers. Lap 19. So 50 seconds on my clock. That's great. Should be able to catch some guys here. And and I got shoved into a wall. Okay, well, very iffy to finish a lap at this point. Now, my goal was 100 kilometers. That will not be a problem. So I'm going to stop taking cuts, and I'm just going to drive this lap normally. Nice and easy here. We'll see how far I can get. How much? I'm still going to drive it hard, because I definitely want to hit 100 kilometers. And I always like to get back to the start-finish line and try to end the race right there. That way I know how much fame per lap I was earning. Because if you know much about this race, you know that the M pay or the M dollars, well, they're just not that good. But the fame pay is actually pretty decent in this race, even though we can't hire an agent. I'm really hoping that sometime in the future they allow us to hire the agent, hire the engineer, and maybe even create an M crew member. That would be awesome. Well, you know, it looks like I could have got to the start-finish line if I would have pushed it, so I'm going to slow down, though. I just want to finish at the line here. And there we go. Now let's look at the numbers. Nice fame. And bad M. That's only 1 lap that they're paying us for. Yeesh. So there's the fame per lap and the fame per minute. That's pretty good. Here's some other links that you might find interesting, like the Monza race where I lapped the entire field. Lots of off-track cuts showing there. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe if you like what you're seeing.